Hey, what's going on out there, YouTube family? This is Samuel here, representing Team JBS, back here again for another TV show series review. So, I'm gonna say this, and this is gonna sound really strange, but the Transformers War for Cybertron probably is the best animated origin feature that Netflix has put up. The reason why I'm gonna put it this way. So if you grew up in the 90s, if you're an 80s or a 90s baby, you know the Transformers movie. But not a lot of people go back and rewatch that. More people watch the Michael Bay, Transformers films, at least the very first one. At this point, people don't even watch them at all anymore. But you remember like the elemental aspects of Cybertron, who Optimus Prime is, who Bumblebee is, and you know that there's this lifelong hatred and rivalry between Megatron and Optimus Prime. What you don't know is so much more richness in this show in 6 episodes. Only first 6 episodes is the only thing that's featured right now. It's maybe 30 minutes tops. But there's so much back history that makes this so refiningly awesome. If you really kind of just wanted to be like, yo, I kind of really want a really good backstory retelling of what, happened. How did we get to this place? What's going on? The way they even start this up, honestly, in the very first episode feels very much so reminiscent to the way that Man of Steel opened up. Man of Steel opened up in this coup where, General Zod went and tried to overthrow the Congress because of what was going on, was platforming with Krypton. And Jor-El was trying to go and do his own thing based on his personal beliefs. And this is the same exact thing, except you have Megatron, you have Optimus Prime, and you have Magnus. And it's just bruh, I kid you not, it is so freaking good. It doesn't feel corny. And matter of fact, you feel every single death, every single moment where something happens, you feel it. And I'm not the biggest Transformers fan. I will be the first to admit it. But if you are a semblance of a Transformers fan, or you're just intrigued by what the Transformers could be, this is the show you need to be watching. And I'll say this, it's only 6 episodes, but it's supposedly a trilogy. So chapter 2 and chapter 3 are going to be coming soon. I guess the back half of the season that I saw. But I'm just giving you a clear example of what you are in for just by listing off different Autobots and Decepticons you may have heard that are featured in this, and I'll explain what reason why I brought this up. You got Megatron, Optimus Prime, Elita 1, Starscream, Jetfire. I gotta reach the Jetfire. Soundwave, Wheeljack, Red Alert, Shockwave, Sideswipe, Bumblebee, Mirage, Hound, Impactor, Ratchet, Prowl, and the list goes on and on and on. I cannot list all the different ones that are up here, but I'm gonna just take a random character, right? I'm just pick one, and this is how I know that the show is actually really good. Let's just pick Jetfire just for the heck of it. Jetfire is, in the very opening of this, is very much so a Decepticon. You know what I'm saying? He understands and perceives that what Megatron is trying to do in self-preservation for Cybertron. And he's very much so opposed to kind of what Optimus Prime is trying to do. But they flesh him out in every moment that he's actually in scenes, and throughout this arc, you start to see certain metamorphoses going on with him subconsciously, morally, and you start to get a bit of semblance of who he actually is. From the very first interaction that happens, the very first thing that opens up is this weird interaction between Bumblebee, someone else I'm not going to explain, and I don't even want to spoil it. Let's just say a group of Decepticons intercepts Bumblebee and somebody else, and you start to understand just who and what kind of character and how much value some of these Decepticons and who they really are, what they really come from. You start to empathize. For the first time, for me, first time ever, I can definitely say I started to empathize with the Decepticons, because actually, well, several different Decepticons came up with some very compelling arguments, went in direct contact with Autobots. Instead of using their fists, instead of blowing them away, I mean, there's plenty of that. I am not gonna nod on that. But there's moments where they have this really good interaction, and it's not a positive necessarily one, but it comes from a place of understanding. You for the first time ever, you kind of take a step back and you look and like, whoa, this happened to the Decepticons. This is how they got put in this place. This is why they're doing what they're doing. And I was like, dang. Then the other side of that, when it comes to the Autobots, like, I was kind of just like, you know what, I know who the Primes are, you know what I'm saying? Like, I know who Optimus is, I know, you know, what he lays, how he stands. And yet, like, every single moment between the faction that Megatron has and the faction that Optimus Prime has, everyone is questioning them. Autobots and Decepticons alike, like questioning their motivations, their morality, who they are, whether their guidance is leading to the end of destruction or to peace and tranquility and understanding. And it's like, the crazy thing is, if you go to the very beginning of the first episode and you get to the very 6th episode, they very much so have their own transformations. And I'm not just talking about, I mean, it's a play on words. Yes, they do transform and turn into cars or whatever else, you know, but these characters themselves go through real life changes. And it's like, their circumstances of, you know, are very dire. Like, you know, people are dying, like, on both sides. Things is happening in a way that's kind of like, yo, if something isn't done soon, like, everybody's going to be affected by this. And these two men are directly in line with what that looks like, where things are going to lie. And it definitely has you worried throughout most of the time. And then you have like characters like Ultra Magnus, just kind of like, he worked with both of these men. And you start to get the backstory of who trained them, where did they come from? And it gets dope, bro. It's so much I cannot spoil. It's so much I cannot spoil. But all I can say is, never an episode I wasn't entertained. It was never an episode I was kind of like, yo, anybody can catch these hands. And it's crazy because I was kind of like confused, because I was like, wait, didn't that character die? I mean, I was like, wait, did that happen yet? Because I was like, this is not, it definitely follows the lines that I remember, you know, from certain things of the movie and certain things of the recent, you know, comics. But, you know, to be quite honest with you, I only really remember like Beast Machines, Beast Wars, the Transformers movies, and of course the original Transformer movie. I don't remember a lot of, you know, the backstory. This gives it to you in spades. It's so beautiful. Then the other thing is the CG work. Now, somebody told me that this came from Machinima. Machinima was the one that kind of made up a big bulk of this as a series. I didn't know that. I don't know anything necessarily about it. I didn't do my due diligence. I apologize for that. But if it did, I mean, I love Ruby, bro. I love Rooster Teeth Ruby. Straight up. Like, I was a huge Monty Young fan. I was huge into whatever, you know, Rooster Teeth were coming up with. And if this did come from them, this did come from Machinima, dope. Either way, Netflix is like, they should be pubbing this, bro. Netflix, hear me, take my review. Tell them, if you want to know a good Transformers origin series, this is it. And it's easily digestible. You can literally start from the first episode and know everything or know nothing about what's going on. And you will be like, oh my gosh, this is dope. I promise you. All you gotta do is just check out War for Cybertron. I promise you, you're gonna have a great, I'm leaving it at a 10 out of 10. There are certain things that I can kind of critique when it comes to certain character motivations. And, you know, I mean, it's not like it is super uber polished CG, but it is refined and good enough that I'm like, this joint is dope. This joint is really dope. Either way, let me know what you guys think. It is out and available right now. It's only 6 episodes. They're maybe like 30 minutes tops. But if you want to see some dope action, some amazing mythology and history behind the Autobots and Decepticons and where they come from, who they are, this is that show for you. I promise you, you're not going to get cheated out of anything. If anything, you're going to be like, yo, this was amazing. Anyway, I'll talk to you guys later. I got to go on a Zoom call. I didn't realize it was Zoom call there. Keep it locked. JVS, we ain't going to stop. Peace, guys.